A KXAN investigation found a Texas school district took more than a month to respond to allegations of a sexual assault between students on a school bus. Investigator Kelly Wiley reports internal records from the incident also reveal questions about how the state's legal battle over Title IX impacts school training on how to handle sexual misconduct claims.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us here on KXAN Live. I'm your anchor Esmeralda Zamora, and today we have our Inside the Investigation segment with investigative reporter Kelly Wiley. But this week is a little different. We have our investigative reporter Matt Gratt stepping in for Kelly because she's going to explain to us a little bit about her story.
Kelly, thanks so much for joining us this week, and thanks for allowing me to step into your role. We really appreciate it.
I'm excited to be asked the questions today. I'm into it.
A little bit of a role reversal here. So we know that you've been looking into Title IX and specifically the obligation of these K-12 schools when it comes to investigating sexual misconduct allegations. What pushed you to look into this further?
Well, you know, Matt, like many things with our office, they start with a tip. And a tip that we received from a mother, a Hutto ISD mother, she was frustrated about how the school district handled a case with her son. So that's what made me start looking into this originally.
And so what happened?
Well, in this case, Brianna O'Neill, she's the mother that wrote in a tip to us. She explains that her 8-year-old son got off the bus, came home, and told her another student touched him inappropriately. She explains that after comforting her son, she quickly called the school district, specifically the transportation department. Records showed they found video of the incident, and then the same day that she reported this to the transportation department, they called the Title IX coordinator with the school. Brianna says she was told someone with Title IX will be reaching out to her, but days and then weeks went by, and Brianna said she still hadn't heard anything from any Title IX coordinator. Email records show she left a voicemail for the district where she pleaded for anyone to give her an update.
And at that point, how long had it been?
It had been more than 30 days. So imagine you're the parent in that situation trying to get some answers. And this is important because Title IX law is a federal law, and it requires that, among other things, school districts promptly investigate any sexual assault or sexual harassment allegations. And records show that O'Neill eventually did meet with the Title IX coordinator, again, more than 30 days after making her report. And the meeting didn't really go how O'Neill was wanting it to. She ended up filing a Title IX complaint and multiple grievances, specifically taking issue with the district not reaching out promptly like that law requires. She said that during that time, her son experienced more bullying, which exacerbated the whole issue.
So what does the school district have to say about all of this?
Well, in several documents that this parent provided to us and that we talked with the district about, they agree with her. In a letter from the district's then interim superintendent, Dr. Carl Malone, they said the district determined that the Title IX coordinator did not act promptly to contact her with supportive measures. And they also say they found that they didn't explain the process for filing a formal complaint like they should have. The interim superintendent said the district would reimburse her for her son's therapy. They also said changes were already being made to avoid similar missteps in the coming years. And the district said something, though, to us that was a little bit different. They said in a statement to us, while all Title IX concerns are thoroughly investigated, some reports may not meet the specific criteria or rise to the Title IX violation as defined by federal regulations. They said, nevertheless, though, they address each report with the utmost seriousness. And we had a lot of questions for the district, but for this report, they declined to sit down and talk with us further about it.
Wow. Going back to this letter, does it say anything more about additional training for Title IX staff?
It does. The then interim superintendent promised, in addition to all those other things, that staff members would receive additional Title IX training before October of that next school year. But she also said in the letter, she mentioned something that would have implications throughout the state that caught our eye. She mentioned that they would have to do this training through a private vendor. And I want to make sure I don't get this wrong, so I'll read it off my paper here. She said the regional education service centers, which there for every region in our state, there are these service centers that do training for all types of things for school districts. But she said that those regional education service centers statewide had paused Title IX training at the time because of Texas's pending litigation involving the implementation of 2024 Title IX regulations in the state. And in specific, it whittled down to saying this was happening statewide. So that's important to point out in this letter. And we checked with the Texas Education Agency on this because they kind of oversee all of these education service centers. And they did clarify there wasn't an official pause on Title IX training, but they did confirm that some of these education service centers decided to postpone or not hold those regularly scheduled Title IX trainings that summer because of confusion over the trickle-down effect of this ongoing lawsuit. The agency said it was due to continued questions about what regulations would be in effect given that litigation. We reached out to all of the education service centers because TEA made it sound like all of the education service centers weren't necessarily pausing this training. Region 13, though, responded to our questions. Region 13 is the service center that would be helping Hutto ISD and other Central Texas school districts. They told KXAN they did postpone their Title IX training for districts. They said it would have covered the new 2024 regulations, but the region's leadership said it did notify districts and give them the contact information for Title IX trainers. But they also said that they've not done any more Title IX training since making that decision to postpone it.
And Kelly, did that impact Hutto ISD at all?
It's unclear in what ways it impacted Hutto ISD. And I say that because we requested records, a log specifically, of all the Title IX training that occurred at Hutto ISD following this matter, where they promised O'Neill, we're going to do more training. And we did find here if it in fact impacted this district in specific, but there was definitely confusion generally over how all of this would work given the lawsuit.
And are things better for this student at all?
Well, I think it's a hard time right now for their family. I've been checking in with his parents, and at this point, they've pulled him out of Hutto ISD. After this incident, Mom explains that he was really having a lot of anxiety about going to school. They tried to figure out if he could have a homebound option so he could continue kind of being within the school district but staying at home to get those lessons. But unfortunately, there's kind of a narrow definition for what qualifies under homebound. So he did not qualify to use that program. His mom is now taking him out of Hutto ISD, and they've enrolled him in some online learning. I know that they would like to figure out something else, but this had an effect on him and his family for sure.
Thank you, Kelly. And for anyone who wants to find more information on Kelly's story, the article is titled "Schools Handling of Bullying Case Highlights Title IX Challenges." So be sure to go on our website, kxan.com, under the Investigates tab, and you can find the article that Kelly wrote up right there on the website if you need more details on this story. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on KXAN Live. We hope to see you again on next Friday. I'm Esmeralda Zamora. Thank you.